melodies there. We are recording. Welcome, everybody, to the Healthy Brotherhood podcast. Host Lusire Boyd hosting, JT Hale co-hosting. We got a good one tonight for you guys. For those who do not know these brothers, there may be a few BMR brothers out there that don't know y'all. And for anybody else that may be watching, we have the founders of the Black Men Run organization. Brother Edward Walton, Brother Jason Russell. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey.
Thank you.
Yes,
we're on the
indeed.
podcast, but we got video here, so
What video?
nobody
podcast.
You're only going to hear it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah.
So glad and honored to have you guys on here, man. And get a little information, a little background on BMR. Lusire and I both will be interchanging with the questions. Lou, do you want to start or you want me to start?
Go ahead. I'll let you start. You already
Okay.
got the hand.
Okay. One of the questions people always ask me, how did this begin?
It began like everything else. It was an idea that was put together by Jason. This is, his idea, his vision. We've known each other in corporate America for, and worked together.
Right.
And I'm the godfather of his kids.
It sure is.
And he came to me with this idea, and it's publicly known that I'm like, man, I'm not doing that. Trying to tell grown men what to do with their health and stuff. But it was a Jason vision. So he sit here and say, hey, man, we need to have a standard. And we need to have a vision so that, African-American men can rally around and have something that they could have accountability for, both personally and being able to be accountable to those who follow them. So, I have to give credit where credit's due. Jason came to me and said, hey, man, this is not net new, but it's needed, right? And I was reluctant, because I sort of subscribe to the stereotype that African American men don't run distance, right? If it's not sprints, it ain't sexy. Okay, and we did it. We got together. I was looking at some old photos today where Jason organized our first run over Silver Comet, and then we sort of, went to historic Grant Park here in Atlanta, Georgia, where that was really the birthplace of Black Men Run. That's how it started. Your next question I want to take it from you will be, why was it started? What was your motivation? And I've given answers to that. Jason has his answer. I'll let him speak if he wants to, but our motivation and reasons for starting an organization singularly was what I just told you, but we both have our own, individual reasons to do it. No surprise, mine was competitive, to break the stereotypes once I realized people thought we didn't. And one thing you don't tell me to do is what I can't do. And the second, Jason had his reason. His father, who avid runner, a little bit of history about Jason's father. When we ran one of the premier relays down here, his dad ran on our first team.
You sure?
And
You sure did.
It's mid-60s at the time.
Yeah. Well, 70-something, yeah.
And out of,
70s. Yeah.
and out of hundreds of folks that participated, we took 16.
Sure did.
We were younger then, but Jason fast, fast back then. Man, we were fast back then. So when folks say, how did it start? That's the answer. Why was it started? It's what Jason had. His father was a runner, health reasons and stuff. I'm super competitive, wanted to stay that way and promote it. But the middle side is the reason we started Black Men Run is it's individual, it's everybody who has joined the organization and supported. Everybody that joined has their reason, and that's the reason we did it. Everybody had their own reason. So when someone says, why did you start Black Men Run? You want me to give you thousands of reasons? Because the thousands equate to the individuals to say, I did it for this, I did it for this, I did it for this. And it all comes back to it's the healthy brotherhood. And that's the long answer, right?
Yeah.
There is no one thing, and every year, James, it changes.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't, I tell you what, it doesn't change. It gets augmented.
That's right.
More stuff that comes on. Yeah, man, I'm happy about it. It brings a smile to my face when
Me
folks
too.
put this thing on and I'm walking through the airport, I'm driving or whatever else. And, it's not about the accolades. Jason and I shy away from being in front. You can notice that. You can tell whenever something happens, we try to push people in front, right?
Mhm.
That's how we measure success of the organization.
Mhm.
Can our members, especially our leadership, articulate what Jason and I believe is the mission statement? And that is how we say, okay, these guys know how to talk about. It's a simple question. People are like, what is Black Men to Run about?
Mhm.
And if one of our so-called, leaders or whomever in position can articulate that in our mission, then we need to go out and understand the mission a bit better. So we started because it was needed. That's your answer, James. We started because it was needed.
Yeah. Well,
Did
you
you
know
know
what?
how?
Exactly. Mhm.
Go ahead, Lou.
Yeah, did you know how really realize how big? Did you expect it to get as big as it is today?
Jason, you want to get an answer to that? I don't just.
I didn't actually.
No,
No, didn't answer.
no. It started with close friends.
Yeah.
I think that when we started looking at, I don't even remember the concept of starting chapters in other cities, but I do remember, one of the, early beginning chapters creation was Memphis.
She was on Wilson. Yeah.
And Roland Wilson, who served with distinction,
Yeah.
got
Absolutely.
that chapter going. He's moved on to do things that are definitely helping the African American community and our kids, in different fashion. He's an educator.
Right.
But that was the first one, I believe. If it's not the first chapter we started outside of Atlanta, it's definitely in the top 3.
Right.
I had no idea it'd get this big. Matter of fact, it grew to the point where it was uncontrollable for Jason and I because we were caught unawares on how this could spread. When it started going to New York and it started going to the DMV area, which is DC, Maryland, Virginia, you started doing this stuff. It is no different from any other startup you hear on TV. The growth became exponential and we did not understand it.
Mhm.
And that's not a problem with members. It not being a problem with us with finding effective leadership that could either be the point person or support the person that was leading that chapter. But like Jason said, I didn't. I had no idea.
One thing I always remember, Jason always says, the world is watching.
Was watching us.
And we definitely seen proof of that.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
world is watching, man, and
The world is watching.
I never really, not that I didn't believe Jason on it, but I'm like, man, who cares about us? And Jason, like, the world is watching, man,
Mhm.
and
A whole lot of people.
They do.
you may not get acknowledgement when you do good, but definitely if you do something bad, you will then get an idea that the world is watching.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
And it's proven. I've been in places as far as Narita Airport in Japan, Barcelona. When I had the shirt on, someone walked up to me and said, "Hey man, I'm part of Black Men Run Dallas." I'm in Barcelona, Spain. I'm in Italy, when people say, "Hey, I seen that shirt before. Who are you?" And the funniest joke is 2 jokes that go along with that. Most every time someone sees me, they call me Jason.
Mhm.
You say, "Hey man, thanks Jason for starting this." I'm gonna correct them. Like, absolutely, right? And then the other thing is that the effective leadership of some of our leaders, when people have said stuff like, "Hey, you part of Black Men Run." Lusire, you were part of this up in Knoxville, Townsend.
In Knoxville.
And they said, "Hey," I said, "Yeah, absolutely. I know your founder, Aaron Perry." I said, "I know." Aaron's a really good guy. And for those who don't know, Aaron Perry is our director of health and wellness for the foundation. And also he is the captain of Madison, Wisconsin. And that's the second time that happened, because the person that approached me in Tokyo or Narita, the airport, said, "Hey, do you know Aaron Perry? I said, yeah, I know. Oh my God, yeah, man, he's a founder of so and so, and he did that. I said, yeah, I know, he's a good dude. You know, tell him Edward said hello. Right? And I'm sure Jason has gotten that where he's been stopped places and you wear the gear and people stop you. They want to talk, and I'll always have time for those who want to know about it. Yeah, so it's funny. I still don't believe we're going to year 10.
Right.
Year 10 years.
10 years, man.
Decade of this.
And speaking of gear, I know when we initially started, we started what, July 2013. I think I joined you guys August 2013. We had no gear. We wore what we wore.
Exactly.
The first piece of gear that we had, Jason,
Cotton shirts. Yeah.
the black cotton shirt, the white cotton shirt. There it is.
That's one of them.
Is that it? That's
Yeah.
not it. Remember, it was
That's
black
that's
was
the
just the
second
black.
one. That's not the
Sign,
original.
yeah.
So what he's talking about is the shirts that me, you, oh God, let me get to where I counted out. It was me, you, Raymond, and who was the other brother? Was it Orlando Daniels?
Yeah, right.
Lando, took me a minute. Man, I had a senior moment.
I know.
Orlando Daniels. And we got that shirt, and I tell you, it was the worst thing we ever put out. Oh, there was just a cotton shirt,
Cotton.
up your wrong, folks, and arms and all that. And then Jason said, hey, we got to do better. And so we brought on a gentleman that was instrumental by the name of Chaz that helped create our signature, look, feel, not so much look, feel.
Absolutely.
Because our shirts were not screen pressed.
Nope.
Never have been. We've never done ink injection. Our stuff was vinyl, which is why people say, hey, why does the shirt cost so much? I said, because this shirt's going to last you, whether it's your first shirt or your last shirt. And that vinyl shirt, this one I have on right now, those can't see me, is a classic. And, so I would think that the gear and what I like to call the standard or the shield, if you're Roger Goodell in the NFL, right? It's Jason's idea. He said, we need to have something that people can gravitate to. So when they see us, it promotes them or it encourages them to come ask us. Right. That's right. And that's the thing, but we've, I gotta concede, 80% of the gear ideas, in the early days were Jason's idea. Because there were a couple of things that ended up being the most popular sellers that I didn't like.
Right.
And Jason argued me down, like, man, the fifth best selling thing that we've ever made was the original hoodie.
Right.
I had no vision. Jason like, man, we gotta get the hoodie. I said, no hoodie. I won't even go into the other things I said behind that. But he said, everybody can't wear shorts, Ed, in November. It's cold where other places are, right? Because we're in Georgia, and I've worn shorts at Christmas. So when the hoodie came out, oh my God, we were so behind trying to get that out.
Right.
So the gear ideal and the standard, I believed in the standard. Jason had the vision of creating a standard. So Jason created a flag, and I would take it out and wave.
Right.
To anybody that will listen or watch. Right.
True.
With pride.
With pride. Kudos to brother Jason for getting us
Thank
on
you, sir.
the gear. And look where we are now with the gear.
Exactly. Right.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
If you talk about gear, let's not forget within the last 3 days, we are the first African American health-related group, for those who want to dumb it down a little bit, run group, that has our own shoe made by a major manufacturer, which is Soccer, our premier partner. It strikes as history for us because it shows that when you can show impact and influence, even those who are much bigger than you will concede and will understand that you present an opportunity to touch and change and transform. The Soccer has been a good partner. The shoe got debuted this week. A little bit of a headache about how it was out, but it's been resolved, and it strikes as two things. It's an excellent. It's not a gimmick shoe.
Right.
Go compete in it. Right. It's a running shoe. But it's also part of history that I will have a pair that will never be worn.
Right.
They will be signed by all of my leadership. It will be signed by my co-founder and friend. And it's going to go up on a piece of glass like it was the Declaration of Independence in the National Archives. It's going to be protected. And that shoe will remind me that every time I get frustrated, that with enough patience and determination, almost anything is possible. I won't say all things are possible.
Right.
Maybe because I'm a cynic, pessimist, but almost anything is possible.
True.
So to all our listeners, I know there may be some frustration about getting the shoe out. Believe me, Jason and I have made some inroads and we're going to resolve that. And our true supporters and believers in the mission statement will get an opportunity to purchase history.
Absolutely.
That's major, man. Our own shoe.
Own
On shoe.
shoe. Oh, put it on.
Right.
I'm gonna walk around it.
Yes, indeed.
And when folks see it, because I've had people say, man, that's a sharp looking shoe. I'm like, and I'm gonna take credit for the shoe design this time, Jason.
You can have it.
I think those guys are socking my shirt, man. And they cut my shirt to pieces to get the design on the machine to make the shoe. So I'm waiting for my shirt to come back. Like, oh, that shirt's not coming back. That shirt's been,
Really?
design process. They cut it into squares, put it up on this machine, and we duplicated the thing on the shoe. So those who have bought gear in the past will see a huge semblance of one of our. God, I can't think of the code name of the shoe. I can't think of the code name of the shirt. But it was on one of my posts. Luckily I had one left. So I'll share it with everybody. Maybe I'll wear it on stage when I come up to Detroit. You'll see the semblance between the shoe and the shirt where the design came from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, they cut my shirt up.
You got a gazillion shirts there. You like me. I done gave away more shirts than I can remember what I got.
Hey, so let me give a little bit more about the gear thing. And I know we want to go to questions, but it's a super important topic. I don't want it to
It's very important.
the entire podcast. Presence and promotion and getting that out there was something I never really understood. But Jason came from a marketing perspective, technology, right? He's always run these.
That's correct.
And he did this. So, this is not the first time. We initially had a shoe design concept with one of our partners named Doug Smiley. He used to be in Mizuno.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Went to Saucony, brought the tremendous relationship that him and Jason had built together. And we had a shoe prototype years ago.
Sure did.
I lost that shoe. I had it at a run, took it out, and cannot remember where that shoe went. And it didn't have Black Men Run on it, but they took our color schemes and they were going to do it. So where I'm going to go with it, I'm going to pivot from the shoe to what you wear in the shoe. Jason helped create the first African-American branded compression sock through Spitwood. Remember that, Jason? That sock is still a classic.
Yep, it sure is. I got it right here, I think.
Yeah, well, over there. And so folks, and that sock must have cost $25.
You're right.
And I've had people offer me $225 for that pair of my originals. Like, am I giving me this? This is history. So we had that sock.
There.
There it is right there. Jason is showing it. I know y'all can't see on the podcast, but I
remember it though. Was that by Legend?
No, it was by Spitwood, whoever makes it.
Yeah, there it is.
There's and I tell somebody, if they walk up to me and they got that sock on, you ain't gotta tell me who you are. I know who you are a long-term supporter because that sock is classic. And I got one sock. I don't know what the other one is. But I'm gonna keep that one sock.
Forever, you're right.
You know how do you lose your left sock in the laundry? I don't tell you.
They go somewhere. I have no idea where they go. But.
So, creation, everything from the hoodies to the original shirts to things that, that were accompanying running, the action of it in the sock. Jason's always been a forward thinker and a visionist on don't put it out just to put it out and put it out for impact. And I like to think we've not had too many mishaps. We had a few mishaps, but for the most part, I think that our members, supporters, partners are pretty happy with the quality of stuff that we put out.
Right.
And we put a shirt out. I'll say it early, but I'll say it again. We give you material that if it's the first shirt you buy, it should be the last shirt you buy. It should always last.
Correct.
And if it doesn't last, you let us know and you'll get some more in the mail.
Mm.
So that's it.
So far, so good. I know Jason is always full of ideas. I
Gotta be.
remember him running around with those glasses. You remember the glasses, Jason?
Oh my goodness.
Glass, yeah.
You know, Jason being a technologist, so I remember that he convinced me, yeah, this Google Glass thing is gonna be the thing. He out there running with Google glasses
Right.
on, tracking people. Jason out there, Jason ran the MLK in
I
the
sure
Google
did.
glasses.
Glasses.
Jason,
Yeah.
do you still have a pair, Jason?
Yeah.
I still got a pair of Google glasses.
Yep.
And we were tracking that stuff. I tell you them things to get hot on your head and burn your scalp. I still have my pair in here. So he always wanted to infuse technology in what we were doing. Jason also, man, keep forgetting this. He also had the relationship with the first startup that had intelligence in the ball cap, camera, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we tried to get on that. They didn't make it. We also invested in a company. We got our money back, I believe, Jason. Was that company had the drone that would follow you around when you were running? And they ended up not doing that. So whenever it came to technology making Black men run better, even though I'm a technologist just as Jason is, he saw how to take it and do it. Me, you know, I'm not, I don't have that creative side to me. I need something to do what it's supposed to do in that. But yeah, I forgot all about that. We had the Google Glass.
You sure did.
We had, what's it called? Light stream or light vision caps that could track your biometrics.
We did the light stream. Yeah, light stream.
And then that drone that was supposed to follow you around while you were thinking was called a Lily.
It sure was.
The Lily.
Right.
Yeah, man. It went defunct. They sold their technology out, had to get money back, but they had a few pieces of the technology that people wanted and they bought it. This is some of the newer stuff. But yeah, man, golly, good question, JT. I'm sure there's other stuff that we've done. I can't remember, man.
Oh yeah. Speaking of the shoe, which I know was supposed to be debuting next week in Detroit, let's talk about Detroit Free Press, the National Black Men Run race. We haven't had one in a few years. Detroit is waiting for us. Right. Canada may not be ready for us, but here we come. Yes, sir.
Yeah. On a scale, this is my first time, but I have gotten to realize and be part of the hospitality in the brotherhood of Detroit, because I went up there 4 years ago to run the Bel Air Half America. And I don't think the guys in Detroit were sort of ready for me, because I had my shirt on and puffed my chest out like I had done 100 push-ups for the race. I wanted everybody to see my shirt. and all the guys lined up and we were, you know, doing our prayer and holding hands, and then they was like, all right, we're getting ready to start the race in 2 minutes. And then I walked away from the guys, and the guys said, CMO, where you going? I said, I'm going where we belong, up front. And I told the line, and everybody up there looking at me, like, yeah, I'm the only Black guy on the front line. You're gonna have to beat me. Right. And we had a great showing. I still remember the picture we took in front of that big old fountain. I can't think of that fountain. I got lost on the course. Oh my God, is that the story of my life?
It is.
I was about to say, because that's not the first time you got lost on the course.
And, you know, reading is fundamental. And evidently I'm not good at it.
You were going that fast, man.
Yeah.
I don't know about fast but man, that was a great time. I got to be showed the city. I got to witness hospitality. I got the ability to let people truly, you know, I'm a representation of Jason, and Jason is a representation of me.
Right.
Most definitely.
When we go out, you don't need both of us. We know what we're thinking, right? And but man, I don't. Detroit's going to be an experience that I hope.
Yes.
I don't have to hope. It is going to exceed expectations, because it's been a long time,
It has been.
Too long.
you know. And to I'm a very engaging and want to build relationships. I don't have idle conversations. Lusire can vouch to that. I want to shake your hand, talk to you, thank you, and if time permitting and the situation permitting, I want to have a beer with you. And I said that on the call the other night, and my wife sort of heard it. And then I'm gonna get a floor over to Jason real quick. So I told everybody on the all hands call, our captains and vice captains, when you add them together, it's 100+. I said, I want to meet each and every one of you, and do not come to Detroit and you don't let me buy you a beer.
Mhm.
My wife sort of said it funny. She said, I heard you say that with your guys. I said, shit. She said, how many guys coming? I said, oh, hundreds. So you're gonna drink 100 beers. Oh, yeah, I didn't do the math.
Mhm.
I guess I better get my liver right, to do that. But I knew what she was trying to get to. Like, I was like, well, I want to meet everybody and have a beer. I can't have a beer with everybody that comes because you'll be like, what happened to the CMO? He make it. So Jason, what a short answer. What do you believe Detroit will be when we get up there? You used to use the word turn up all the time. I hated that phrase, turn up. Turn up. I'm too old.
Celebration.
Celebration.
Absolutely.
It's a celebration of us.
Of us.
It's an entity that breaks the thing that is holding this country back. Everything from division to the pandemic to the financial crisis. We as a group and as a people and as a demographic, it's a celebration for us to say here, we will not sit by here and take this. We will celebrate the good things in our life and not sit here and be just put down by the dope every day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's a good word, Jay.
Thanks, sir.
Celebration.
Yes.
Well said. Thanks, sir.
That's what we
I wish Cool in the Game was still around. I get in there.
Hey, yeah, yes, indeed.
Celebrate.
One of my favorite bands. So I'm dating myself to everybody. So those listening that don't know me, I'll be 54 of the month. I'm about 6 or 7 years older than Jason.
You are, yeah.
And so, I get to celebrate Detroit and I get to celebrate my
Awesome.
birthday.
Right.
And I'm gonna celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely. We all are.
We all, yeah, exactly, Jason. We all are.
Yeah.
I really hope the brothers coming that you have not met before actually do make an effort to meet both of you guys.
Yeah.
And we're very approachable. We're not some pedestal sitting guys.
Absolutely.
Which is I can say that that's a blessing because
it is.
I can sit in the crowd and people should walk by me and only assume that I'm a member.
Right.
And a supporter, not the founder. Jason and I have never, ever made ourselves unapproachable.
Nope, never.
You can always walk. I've given my shirt off my back. Some say, hey man, I didn't have time to buy a shirt. What size you wear? Take this one. I ain't running it yet.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen you do that.
Yeah,
Part of it, man.
Right. And because everybody ain't able, and I'm truly blessed outside of Black Men Run in my life, and it helps me contribute to Black Men Run and be able to do good stuff. Right? So we're very approachable. You can always come shake our hands and talk to us.
Absolutely.
That's what a real brotherhood is.
You're right.
The healthy brotherhood.
The healthy brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
I hope the guys take advantage of that next week.
They better.
They're better. I mean, come on, you don't always get a chance to meet the founders.
Right.
And
I tell people, if you don't take advantage of something, then you're taking it for granted. And if you take it for granted, it may be taken from you.
True.
Absolutely.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So take advantage. Don't take it for granted, or it could be taken away from you.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
So especially our people.
You're right.
I'm not gonna go down that road. This is a celebration.
Celebration. That's right. That's the focus. Come, enjoy yourselves. once it's done and over, those who attended can go back and rave about it. Those who missed out on it can look and see, damn, I should have gone. I'll make sure to catch the next one. I hope that's the response for a lot of
Too.
brothers.
But you didn't include a third response, which is where I learned. I want folks to come in and tell us what we could have done better at.
Right.
That's how I grow. I've never learned anything from winning.
Okay.
I learned from not winning.
Right.
And I go adjust, because when you win all the time,
Never
you don't
change.
understand loss.
You
But when
don't.
you lose a lot, you can appreciate winning. I
Absolutely.
always like to have people that come to us and say, hey, this was good, but you really should have done this. Or because I may not agree with you, but I will always listen.
Right.
I will give you the courtesy and respect that you will have my attention. I will not, I'm not a blower offer. I don't know if that's a real term or phrase, but when you talk to me, I talk to you.
Right.
And I think I surprised a lot of people that if I hadn't talked to you in 2 years, I can pick it back up as though we talked yesterday. I think, Captain Boyd understands this. He's seen me in action twice. And he's tolerated me, even though, he was mad at me that I'm the better cook than he is.
I cooked the breakfast, you cooked the dinner.
I cooked the dinner. Hey, because breakfast is when you get all the criticism. Dinner, everybody just hungry. They don't care. They're just hungry at the end of the day, right? So I strategically chose which meal that we did an outing in Denver with our Denver chapter, and Captain Boyd and I made it a point that we told everybody, don't you lift a finger. We did all the cooking, did all the drink making. It was we'll talk about it in Detroit for those that want to experience what I've experienced in Knoxville with Captain Philip Tucker, and what I experienced with Captain Jeff Armstrong in Denver in collaboration with Vacation Races. If you have not done one, you need to do one.
It's epic. It's epic. Epic weekend.
Man, we had a good time.
I know we had a great time in the Great Smoky.
The Great Smoky Mountains. And we went out there
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
won.
The Rocky Mountains.
The Rocky, Great Smoky, Knoxville.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking about we went up in that van next to that edge of that cliff.
And those who don't know, I'm scared of heights. I was like, had my eye closed. Ed, you see that? I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing till we get where we going. We on the edge of a cliff, man. Who lives up here? And that was a hard race. I'm not in shape. I've been hurt all year, and we were running that altitude, and that altitude is humbling.
Right.
We were taking oxygen on the course.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard.
Man, my oil light has come on. What is going on up here? And but we had a good time, man, and we made an impression, because folks were like, who are you? And we won fastest 5K team and fastest half marathon team, cross country style.
Right.
And we wore our medals. And for those who don't, I ain't gonna get to it. I'll save it for Detroit. I get up on stage and I'll tell you.
Save a little bit.
I'll save
Save
it.
a little bit.
Yeah, man.
And so going forward, looking forward to more regional races, I guess possibly with Vacation Races in 2023, 24. I got a couple of those I want to check out myself.
Yeah, me too. We our senior leadership team, which you're a part of, JT, helps decide what our race calendar is, right? And when people say, what is your race calendar? This is the place where we congregate either on a national level or a regional level, right? So regional being where there's a huge concentration of chapters either within a state or a series of states. And national is Detroit, where we ask everybody to come here.
Right.
Like Jason and I can always make the regional ones, right?
Mhm.
So when you look at what our schedule looks like, national's priority, regional, and then what we're doing with Vacation Races. Because they're a partner. They'll be at Detroit. Salem Stanley's going to come talk. And their claim to fame, I don't want to steal it, is that they do very unique races, which allows us to come together as a brotherhood, and you'd be surprised. Something as simple and as a concept that he's done is super successful. And I want, one thing is we're going to promote all our members and supporters and partners to say, you need to take advantage of this.
Mhm.
So this is team building, what we've done, right?
Right.
I mean,
Very much.
a lot of the conversations were very raw and open, and jokes were told. Good liquor was drank, good food was cooked, and then there was a sense of being safe and calm, and that was a good thing. But we'll talk about all that in Detroit too. I'm going to be there most of the week so that I can get up there and get acclimated, and you know, I'm not working. I'll tell you that. We're not gonna do it at work. This is critical. We're gonna have a good time, man.
Have a ball, man.
I'm gonna drink some beer.
All of that.
I'll see you Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll be there Wednesday.
Mhm.
Other, shake hands, see
Mhm.
folks.
Yeah.
It's a build-up, and the
Yeah.
culmination of it will be, Saturday when our guys are running, and guys and girls are running. We'll be running the 1 miler and the 5K, and then Sunday is effectively the half marathon and the full marathon, both national and international. So it's gonna be a huge opportunity to showcase what we are as a brotherhood. I'm looking to it, and all we have to do is nothing super complicated.
Right.
We show up, we wear the brand, and we let everybody else either speculate or come talk to us.
That's
Mhm.
awesome. That's mighty awesome.
And not get the real answer. But if you come talk to any one of us, we'll give you the answer.
That's what's up. Gentlemen, we're coming up on 45 minutes, so I'm getting ready to stop the recording.
Okay.
Appreciate Jason and Ed taking time out to talk with us.
Good guys.
Guys, to get to know them a little better.
If we have something closing, I want to go back and say one thing. You need to know us.
Mhm.
Make an effort to come know us.
Mhm.
I said it several times, but I'll say it one more time as we close the podcast. We're highly approachable.
Mhm.
We're not just the founders, we're members.
Right.
This is one of the true organizations that is directed by our leadership that in a position like captains, vice captains, SLT. But our members have a huge amount of influence on where the organization goes, right? And so that is something that has been our strength. Sometimes it's our weakness, you get distracted, but for the most part, it's been our strength. So I would tell those that can make Detroit, make an effort to see us. And then for those who can't, make an effort in subsequent opportunities to see us or email us. I'll email you back.
Mhm.
Social media is still a thing, I think. I'm not only as I used to be, Jason is much more savvy in social media than I am. But man, I went into Instagram, I had like 500 messages in my DM. And I had to ask the wife, what is DM? Like a text message? Yeah, and it's crazy because I'm a technology, I'm a cybersecurity guy, but I don't do recreational or consumer technology. I had to get my wife to help me with some phone stuff, how to get around on Facebook. I don't know that stuff, right? But Jason's very savvy in it, and that also led to our success, right? And I think it will be not as important now that we're super established, but still relevant about how we go, because that's the outreach to the individuals. And we also make sure we communicate with those who are not on social media. James, when I say James to our listeners, it's really JT, but I call him James. I don't tend to use nicknames. And so as we go forward, we also take care of those who are not on social media. And James did that by creating either WhatsApp apps or text messages and stuff. So we're super inclusive for those who choose, because there are some folks who can't get on social media by virtue of what they do for a living. I was one of them.
Right.
When I was working in government and CIA and all that, you did not get on social media. I'll leave that as it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I've enjoyed you.
I've
Gentlemen.
enjoyed
Guys coming on. It won't be the
Yeah,
last
thank
time we talk with you, that's for sure.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait. I'm hyped. The drilling is building up.
It's building up.
It
Lusire,
is.
you got anything else, brother?
Oh man, I'm just excited, man. I got energy just flowing in my blood. I'm just excited about all the brotherhoods coming to the great state of Michigan in the wonderful city of Detroit. We're gonna enjoy ourselves. We're gonna have a wonderful time, and it's gonna be such a blessing. I feel so blessed that it's happening in my city. Of all the cities in Black Men Run, I'm like, man, this is going down in Detroit. This is amazing. But it's also a blessing to be a part of BMR. It's a blessing to know you, CMO, and having personal time and enjoying cooking and the way we do it with the virtual races and everything. Just the first time I got to talk to Jason, it was a blessing talking to you and texting with you back and forth earlier today.
All right,
I
brother.
was letting Jason know that I get nervous too out here. I get nervous, but I got a way of hiding it by talking, and
Right.
it subsides.
Well, if talking helps, get rid of your nervousness, I ain't never been nervous. People tell me that all the time. I'm brave, man. I ain't nervous. I'll give me 52 more minutes. I got something to say. So, but we don't have 52 more minutes. But James, Lusire, thank you guys for having on to this excellent podcast, which is going to be part of our mission going forward of getting the word out and like I said, being very open in communications and allowing people to get a semblance of what we're doing. It's gonna be fun.
Yes, it is.
This is one of the first weeks that I think is going too slow for me because I want to get to next week.
Right.
Right. And I'm like, oh my God, get a week in so I can get up to Detroit. And when I get up there and I get off the plane, the first person that sees me with my Black Men Run gear, like, hey man, what's good? I'm gonna go, what it is though?
What up though?
Okay.
What up, though?
What up though?
What up though?
I don't embarrass myself in Detroit, guys. Like, come on here. What up though? I'm gonna get it right by then.
Work on that.
Big shout out to Martin Monroe.
Yeah.
Derek Randall. What up though?
All right,
Yeah,
fellas. I'm stopping the recording here. We're at 8:49.
Cool.